there, let me ask you this question. Who is responsible for what in your home, in your marriage, in your office, in any relationship you find yourself? Who can we hold accountable when something doesn't happen? Role expectation is one of the greatest causes of conflict in any relationship. Welcome to the Counselor's Desk. This is your counselor, Dr. Beatrice Tembi. Today we are in for another exciting time. Each person comes into a relationship with a unique set of expectations, how he or she thinks that relationship is supposed to work. And these expectations they depend on a number of things. One, the village culture, or the family culture of the persons. Somebody can say, my father did not used to do this, or my mother used to bow down and to talk to my father. That's their culture. Now he brought that into his relationship, into his house. He thinks his wife should do that. Or the wife would say something like, my father used to, come back home and clean the whole yard before we return from school. He thinks that the husband now must come back from work, vacuum every place and clean every. That is an expectation they are bringing from their past. Or maybe from past relationships. Oh, I had a girl, the girl used to do this and used to do that, now you are not doing. Why didn't you marry her? You didn't marry her because people don't marry desperate people. And if you are listening to me, you are a desperate girl, you make yourself a doormat for a man to work on in the name of love. Listen, they want to marry you, they will just laugh at you and ridicule you behind your back. Well, come back to my point. Or maybe a movie you watched, or a book you read, a romantic novel, and you bring that expectation to your home. It's going to cause problems. So, cause of conflict, role expectation, maybe over expectation, and then failure to perform your role. It also causes conflict. Be careful. Let me tell you about this guy who came here to the US from Africa to visit his son, his married son. He came during the weekend and everybody had time. They picked him up from the airport, they made him a good meal, they welcomed him, and Sunday was good. And on Monday, he was expecting that the wife of his son would come up to his room and knock at his door and say, Papa, come and eat. I've made breakfast, it's on the table. Nobody did that. But Sunday evening, he had been told that, food is in the refrigerator. He had been shown how to use the microwave. He knew how to use the microwave anyway. So he had been, introduced. Everything in the kitchen had been introduced to him. But Monday morning, he thought he would be, begged out of bed and served a meal by his son's wife, because in his mind, that's how wives ought to do for their fathers-in-law. But before he got up, the house was empty, everybody had gone to work. And he was so angry. What kind of a wife is this that my son is married to? So he brought a funny expectation into the relationship that he had with his daughter-in-law, okay? So please, be careful with your expectations. They may cause trouble. Now, what is the solution to this? One, develop your own culture in your home or in any relationship. No, roles are cultural. You understand? What the men do in a particular culture is a taboo in another culture. What the women do in another culture is a taboo in another culture. So, and every home has its own mini culture, home culture. Develop a culture in your home. You and your wife, or you and your spouse, should sit down and arrange your home. Decide what you want to be done by who. Plan your activities depending upon your jobs, who comes home first, who does what. Plan everything out. Okay? Taking into consideration people's strengths and people's weaknesses. Taking into consideration that only one person can be pregnant among the husband and wife, and and during that pregnancy period, she may not be able to do so many things. You understand that? So plan, arrange your home. Don't mind about what people are saying. They may say, oh, the woman is riding, the woman is, this woman is controlling the man. That's their business. It's not yours. It's not even their business, but they want to make it their business. Good and fine. Plan your home. Okay? Arrange who is to do what. And always do evaluations all the time. You're supposed to do this. You couldn't do it because of this, that. Talk about it. Ask one another, please, I'm supposed to do this. Can you help me? Okay? Now, if the wife is supposed to, let's say, clean the bathroom or scrub some areas on the bathroom, the floor, and she is heavily pregnant, and she can't, go on her knees and do that, guess what? The husband should do it. Right? Right. So, please plan your home. In the office, make sure you give good job descriptions and evaluation sheets, whether people have understood and whether they are doing. And please don't abdicate responsibility. That means you give somebody a responsibility, you forget about it until when the person has failed. No. Always make sure you do midterm evaluation. Have you done this? Are you doing this? Do you have any challenges with doing that? Let things be clear, so that relationships will not have problems. Okay, good. Point number 2 I want to discuss with you today is cause of conflict. The inability to accommodate each other's differences. You're coming from different backgrounds. You have differences. Of course, you came with different expectations. You must be able to accommodate each person's difference. The inability or unwillingness to do this is actually a cause of conflict. It's not the differences. The differences are not the cause of conflict. It's the inability to accommodate, to take it and work with it. Hello? Why did you marry if you are in a marriage? Why did you marry somebody? You should have married yourself. And of course, you can't marry yourself. You must marry another person, and this other person must be different from you. Even if he is your twin sister, she will be different from you. Okay? Learn to accommodate differences. And the first difference is usually differences in perception and perspective. How you see something. How you see something. I like this thing. Somebody gave it to me through my WhatsApp page. They drew this letter like this. I hope that you're going to see when I show you. What is this? It could be a 6 or a 9, but you turn it like this, it could be a 6 or a 9, depending upon what angle you look at it. Are you seeing it? Somebody, you can draw this and you can show somebody. If the person stands on this side of the paper, he will say it is maybe a 9 or a 6 because I'm not seeing it. If it stands this way, it will be a 9 or a 6. Look at it. Look at it. We call this perspective. From which angle is somebody looking at something? You must be able to accommodate that. You must be able to say, oh, this person is looking at this thing from this angle. That's why he is or she is reacting this way. Okay? Please, always try to do that. Differences in perspective or perception. I read a story from I don't know which book. I think it's Dr. Schu's leadership book on leadership also. And he said, if two sisters are living in the home, and one of the sisters is selling a smoked fish, and the other sister is dealing with papers, maybe doing a small documentation office, and there are so many house mice in the home, and one sister wants to buy a cat, so let's bring a cat here, the cat is going to be killing all the mice. The sister who has papers and the documentation will say, oh, this cat will eat up the mice. And you'll be seeing the cat as something to take away the mice from the home. But the sister with the smoked fish, you say, no. This cat is going to steal fish. So they are looking at the cat from two different points of views. And if you are not careful, they will have clash. Little thing like, should we buy a cat? Should we bring a cat to this house or not? Will cause conflict. So all the conflicts you're having with your spouse, don't you think it's a matter of perspective? How you are looking at the same thing? Be able to accommodate each other's differences. Okay, we're going to give you the solution shortly. The next difference, which people don't know how to accommodate, is differences in core values. Hello? Core values. Now listen, core values are simply deep-seated beliefs and ideas, religious beliefs, moral beliefs, ideological beliefs, philosophical beliefs, which are deep-seated, and people don't want to, they are non-negotiable. People don't want to change it at all. Okay? And they just come from early exposure to certain beliefs. Oh, in my village, a man doesn't do this. Or a woman doesn't do this in my village. I mean, people have core values. I can't, no. This must be done this way. No. It must be done this way. Now, if you can't understand how to, accommodate somebody's core value, you can't have a good relationship with him, even if he is your husband. Okay? So for these two differences, let's see, how can we solve them? How can we solve them? And there's just one thing I would like to tell you here, or two things, how to solve this issue of accommodating each other's differences. One, put yourself in each other's shoes. And two, let your differences work for you and not against you. Oh man. Listen, I don't have time to say all, but I would recommend you to my books. My books are coming out very soon. In fact, the book that has this material is already out. But the next, it's called Help, I'm a Wife. Because wives complain a lot about these things. Now the other one, which is a sequel to it, is called Help, I'm a Husband. So I decided to publish the two books at one time. So Help, I'm a Husband is about to come out. And then the two books will be launched at the same time. But for now, let me just give you a hint how to handle this. Step into each other's shoes. Realize that, please listen, if you grew up under the same conditions your spouse grew up in, if you had the same parents and received the same scolding he or she received, if you went to the same school, the same church, and got an early exposure to the same things he or she was exposed to, you would be thinking the same way and reacting the same way to situations, if not worse. Okay? Many of us, we are still how we were formed. Okay? Many of us are still how we were formed by our parents. The same scolding, if you had the same scolding, the same shouting, the same insults they had when they were young, the same lack of basic necessities they had, or the same too much of basic necessities they had, if you had the same, you will be reacting the same way. So what I want you to do is try to understand where people are coming from. And you get it by conversations. You now know how if you can communicate and talk. I mean, they'll tell you how, maybe they grew up without a mother. like me, or they grew up without a father, or they don't know many things. If there's something I must congratulate my husband for, is that he understands me so much as far as this aspect is concerned. He will just tell me, see, you don't understand this thing, let me do it. Because he knows where I'm coming from. From early, he understood me. And I think that's the only man in this world that understands me very well. Understand your spouse. Know where he's coming from. Know where she's coming from. Know her background. And try to step into her situation or his situation. You will now understand, his core values, the way he reacts to things, he or her anyway, and you will try to accommodate them. Okay? It's very, very crucial to understand people, or to understand your spouse, since we're talking mainly about spouses here. You understand their flaws. You put yourself in their shoes. Good. The second thing I want to say before my time is up is that you can always let your differences work for you. We are different, yes. But listen, you know what differences do? What differences do is they give you a broader database of resources. A broader database of things to choose from, ideas to choose from. He comes with his ideas, you come with another idea which is contrary. Now you guys have a broader database, from where you can get information. He doesn't want, this is his set of dishes he likes, this is your set of dishes you like. You bring them two together, you have a broader database of foods to eat. And whenever there are differences, lay them all on the table. And then now choose which one you want. Let your differences work for you. Good. Whew, just two, but very important. One, roles are cultural. Develop your own roles. Forget about all those sets of expectations you brought from other relationships and you brought from out of the home. Create your own home culture. And two, accommodate each other's differences by putting yourselves in their shoes, by understanding where they are coming from, and then by making your differences work for you, by developing a broader database of ideas from which to choose the better one. Don't always quarrel and fight and knock at each other. No, love each other and accept each other. That's how conflicts will be resolved easily in your home and in your relationships. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.